How you guys doing today? It's Anthony Ganji, host of Tear Talk, and in partnership with Transformations, which is literally right here in Delray Beach, Florida, right behind me, we're going to take a tour of their clinical facility. My tour guide today is going to be the admission coordinator, Zach Creighton. We're going to take a tour of the clinical facility, and after that, we're going to go over to their residential property where those that take treatment reside. Okay, so right now I'm here with Zach Creighton, who is the admission coordinator here at Transformations, right? Now, I want to discuss your premier level of care.
So this is the second floor of our clinical building. This is where all of the 30-day clients come, and this is where they're going to be taking their treatment's going to be taking place. So when I say that, I mean through this hallway and this hallway is going to be the different group rooms in the therapist office where our clients will be receiving the treatment. On this side is our first responder suites. So that's where all of our first responders, our corrections officers, our police officers, and our military personnel will be coming to do their treatment. And on this side is more of our traditional program for family members and other people struggling with chemical dependency. So the way it's going to work, the way it kind of works just briefly, is we offer individualized groups and individualized therapies. And when I say individualized groups, I mean we have a group to fit every need. Because when treating chemical dependency, it's not just the drugs and alcohol, there's the underlying issues, the underlying mental health. So what we have and what we've done is we've made over 85 different groups that go on during the week to hit every single need. And the way we do it as well is we let the clients pick the group that best coincides with their recovery. So that means by the day one, when they first get here and they start their caseload, they're taking accountability of their recovery, of their sobriety, and they're starting this process now. Because when they leave here, they're going to have to be accountable for these things. So let's start it here in a structured environment where they're going to be safe and they're with a clinical team that's going to help take care of their needs.
And also provides them with a sense of control, correct?
Absolutely.
And that's obviously got to be very, especially for first responders.
Absolutely. I mean, with the first responder, they have been in such a controlled environment for how long, so when they come here, they still need to have that semblance of control, in which they're going to have here by choosing the groups that best coincide with their recovery, on top of having a detailed program for first responders already designed for them.
And if I may ask, who are the individuals that get involved with the program, the teaching of the program, the counselors?
So we have master level therapists that we're going to be working with our clients. And then we also have a psychologist, his name is Dr. Dowd. He is actually the medical director of our program. So it's not just they're coming here and just seeing a therapist. If there's medication that's needed for any mental health issues or things like that, he's there for that. He's there to provide an assessment to determine if that's actually needed. Our clinical director, Megan Garvey, she oversees the program. She's the one who's going to make sure that everybody's following through, and any issues that happens within the program, she's going to handle personally.
Do you find that a lot of the first responders kind of feel better with the individual treatment or the group treatment?
You get a mixture of both, because you need that group therapy dynamic to learn how to develop that peer-to-peer support, that you can't just be doing this on your own. When you're with that therapist and you're one-on-one, yes, you're able to dive into those issues. You're maybe not as comfortable talking with people around, but when you actually are in that group, you start to learn how to lean on your peers for support, which is going to be crucial when it comes to long-term recovery.
So right now we're here at the IOP program, and IOP stands for?
Intensive outpatient.
And what does that detail?
So intensive outpatient is the next step from our 30-day premier program. What it does, it gives us the ability to keep clients within our care even longer to continue the treatment. So that really means that they're going to still be in a structured setting for a longer period of time instead of just a 30-day program and go home.
Would you say that this is more of a transition?
Yes, so within this program, they're going to continue the treatment. When I say that, I mean they'll still be doing the group therapy, they'll still be seeing the therapist one-on-one, but at the same time, they'll be transitioning into real life. So when I say that, I mean they'll be expected to get jobs, expecting to start working again. There'll be weekly rent due at the sober homes that they'll be living at. And from there, they're able to gain their independence and kind of detach from their loved ones who supported them for so long, so they can start to reacclimate themselves in society.
So it's a way to adjust to the new change?
Yes, absolutely. And we do it again in a structured setting to where they're going to be randomly drug tested a few times a week, just to ensure compliance, to make sure that somebody's doing what they need to, and especially in early recovery when it's the hardest and you can kind of find yourself slipping up. This extra bit of accountability, knowing you're going to be drug testing, knowing there's going to be structure, there's going to be curfew at the housing, you're going to need to see your therapist, you're going to be accountable to your therapist. It just helps assist the process of long-term recovery.
Well, the structure helps for them to create a routine.
Yes,
Correct?
absolutely.
And it's also creating a routine in a safe and secured environment just in case they relapse.
Absolutely. And if that does happen, the outpatient program is here. So if that happens and they make a mistake and they slip up, we'll know about it right away. We'll be able to staff them right away and be able to help them there to get back up on the horse and continue their journey to recovery.
Okay, so right now I'm at the living property here for Transformations. This is where the residents reside, and as you can see, it's beautiful. It's quite serene. I'm actually going to go inside and meet with Jen Murray, who's the lead tech supervisor, and we're going to discuss the living arrangements and how they organize events, as well as keeping the residents active. Okay, so welcome to the Villa Del Rey residence. This is the apartments at Transformations for the residents of the treatment center, correct?
Correct.
And my host, thank you, obviously, is Jen Murray. Jen Murray is going to show me around. This feels like a home.
Very nice apartment. 2-bedroom apartments. Each client has their own bathroom and queen size bed. There's a full kitchen, a nice size living room. Each apartment comes with a patio or balcony that overlooks our pool. And
So right after their treatment, whatever, this is where they come, obviously, right? This is where they get their chance to relax. But is there any programs here that's being done or any activities that they can do while they're here?
So after the clinical day, they come back here at roughly 4 o'clock, 4:30. The evenings consist of either a 12-step meeting or CR. We also offer activities throughout the weekend and just a time for them to relax in, like you said, a nice homey feel.
Yeah, because it really does. It really feels like home. And you said CR. What's CR?
CR is Celebrate Recovery, so it's a Christian-based 12-step program instead of your traditional AA, NA, or CA meeting.
Oh, wow. So that's pretty much very unique, right? I'm assuming. Okay, so obviously we have the 2-bedroom setup. So we have, obviously, how do we screen who are going to roommate next to each other?
We do a lot of it based on age and program. If we have the older clients, typically 30 and over, we keep on the first floor apartments of both buildings. If we have a first responder or a veteran coming in, we do our best to house them together so that they can feel comfortable. And we do our best to house appropriately.
Right, so this residency here, this apartment would be actually designated for females, correct?
This is a female apartment. We have an all-female building, and then we currently have 2 male buildings.
What would be the slight differences between the female buildings and the male buildings?
The furniture is slightly different. The men's furniture, the bedroom furniture, is more of a gray tone, whereas the women's is white. All of the couches are similar. We're currently in the process of refurnishing the entire property. Every apartment comes with a TV. There's nice pictures on the wall to make it feel like you're not in treatment, but you're more in an actual apartment that you might live in outside of treatment.
Now, who assists with the transportation from here to the actual treatment center? Because I did notice that the treatment center is a good distance away.
So we're about 1.5 miles from the treatment center, and our tech staff, BHTs, transport the clients from property over to clinical and back, and to any outing we go to throughout the day or the week.
And when you say outings, what type of outings do you offer?
During the week, we take them to the beach, to the park. They can come back here and get in the pool. On the weekends, we offer things such as bowling, movies, airboat rides, roller skating, ice skating, anything along those lines, just to get them out and away from their apartments for a few hours.
How important is keeping them productive, keeping them active in regards to treating them?
In my opinion, it's extremely important, because if you sit in one room for too long, you can get stuck in your head, whereas we send them out on an outing, and it's their opportunity to get out of their head, be around people, and enjoy having fun sober.
And what about the connection with their roommates?
You see a lot of the clients bonding with one another because they're all here for some sort of substance abuse, but that's not the only thing that will bring them together. Like I said, we try to house appropriately, and they have the opportunity to then confide in someone and learn trust and building healthy relationships, whereas in active addiction, who knows what type of relationships you have.
So by putting them here, would you say that they're living together, they take their journey together as well? So they're actually not only living together, but they're also going to the treatment together. So you're right, they got a chance to confide with each other.
And then in groups, if they have a rough day, they have someone to come back to property to confide in. They always have the tech staff but a client isn't always going to want to tell the tech staff what's going on, whereas a peer, it's a lot easier to talk to.
And it's funny because this isn't, in my mind, the average picture I would get for a residence at a treatment center. I mean, I was actually expecting to be a little bit more confined, when actually, I'm going to be honest with you, standing out here, it's very open space, and I really do feel like I'm sitting in the middle of a home and just enjoying life. I mean, if you can see what's in front of me, it's a beautiful lake. It's a beautiful, it looks like a great outdoor environment, and then also the community itself. As you're driving past, they're so nice, they're so friendly, so you get a very good positive interaction, as if they're my neighbors for years.
We try to make it seem as this is just normal, sober living versus you're going to treatment, you're going to be confined to a room. They have opportunity to walk around the lake, to go play basketball in the parking lot. We also have a golf net where we have golf clubs and golf balls in the tech office that they can go out at night and play.
And I want to tell you something that's great, because this setting right here alleviates kind of like what people believe it to be like a setting, like in corrections, or I might say like a prison setting, where you feel that you are confined, but I have not felt that once since I've been here.
We, at all times, 24/7, we have staffing here, so they are always have someone around watching. We have someone posted right at the gate where you guys drove through when you got here. But we're not constantly on top of the clients like in a correction setting might be, where they're locked. It's completely different. They have freedoms to walk around, limited freedoms, but a lot more than your correction setting or your typical residential facility.
Well, can we talk about some of the restrictions that they have when they live here? What are their restrictions?
So we do allow phone calls, but after there's a 7-day blackout period. That's so that they can get acclimated into the community, start reaching out instead of just turning right back to their family or their loved ones, whoever it may be.
That's the first 7 days.
The first 7 days. After that, they're allowed 15 minutes of phone calls a night. We have a phone room in the clubhouse where it's monitored by staff as well. We do offer the outings, which our staff are present during the outings. They have access to their money, but with staff supervision. So when they go shopping, we provide them $75 a week for food and beverage at Publix. If they want anything else, hygiene products, tobacco products, additional food, they're responsible for payment themselves.
Do you monitor their shopping at Publix?
Yes.
And that's just, you want to make sure it's being brought back into the residence, correct?
Correct, and nothing they shouldn't have is being taken out of the store and brought back to Publix.
Well,
our main concern is the safety of the clients,
of course,
but we still allow them to have freedoms.
Right, well, of course, and I think that's what I actually, be honest with you, I see more freedoms, or I feel free as opposed to the restrictions. Obviously, knowing those restrictions are needed for the safety and security of everyone that's here. So I'll be honest with you, I think that you guys create such a great balance between the restrictions and the freedoms, and I really think that's something that literally is needed, especially for someone that's looking for treatment.
Correct.